Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Talks with the Lady. I am your host, Lashana Lady Brown, and it is a pleasure to have you all back here tonight. All right. So, if you would please go ahead and share this live. If you would please go ahead and share this live. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are awaiting for the Funeral Diva. Prior to her coming on, I just want to make a few announcements prior to her coming on. I do want to ask that you all go on and subscribe to the YouTube and Instagram. We just actually started the YouTube, and we will be saving a lot of the videos on the YouTube. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe to that, we would appreciate it so very, very kindly. But we're going to go ahead and get started as well. I hope you all are doing well. If you're here, just go ahead and say here. I want to know who's on the live before we go ahead and get started for tonight. This is going to be an exciting live. I'm looking forward to it. I just want to know who all's here. We will be doing giveaways throughout the live as well, starting next week. So I do want to give back to my listeners, the followers, the audience. I do want to be able to give back to you as well. All right. So we are going to go ahead. I do want to cover a few things other than the YouTube. Also, remember to follow the group Talks with the Lady. It is on Facebook. Let me see. I covered the YouTube, the Instagram, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. So again, a little bit of an intro tonight on who we have here with us. We have Mrs. Shawn Johnson, Chandelario Johnson. She will be with us tonight. She is a little bit delayed, but we are going to go ahead and get started. We want to hear from her. We want to hear about her story and how she became where she is, to how she came to where she is today. There is a very long story that surrounds where she is today and where she's come from. Even over the last few years, she has encountered some challenges, I should say. So we do want to talk with her, and we want to get her side and how those challenges have allowed her to overcome or surpass the strategies that she has implemented, amen, in her industry as well. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And is she here yet? Let's see. Okay, here we go. We are, is it 8:05 yet? We will be here. Who all is on the live? I want to get ready to do a giveaway. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to bring to the stage. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, she's almost here. So I just got message that she is almost here. She is coming onto the stage. Again, if you are here, just go ahead and click here. I would like some interaction. If you all would, please provide some feedback or some interaction throughout the live. This is going to be a purpose-driven live. I am going to ask that you all remain respectful and understand that this is the testimony for her. And I wanted you all to hear her out. If you have any questions throughout the live, please ensure that you type them in the comment box. We'll be more than happy to answer. There is no wrong question. We are more than happy, again, to be able to hear your concerns, your thoughts, your questions. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hi, Tequila. Yes. Hi, Kiera. How are you? So let's see here. Yes. So yeah, we are definitely wanting to hear your feedback. We want to hear what you have to say, any questions that you may have to that you want to ask, please feel free. This is a live where you can just be yourself. There is no right or no wrong questions or answers, no wrong feedback. We want you to be able to express yourself in whatever way that you feel the most comfortable. Okay. All right. Yes, yes. So I just do we have Kiara and Tequila here. Yes, so we are just awaiting. Hi JT, how are you? And thank you for joining Talks with the Lady this evening. We are still awaiting Mrs. Johnson. She should be coming on to the live at the moment. She's logging in. Let's see here. Yes. So again, thank you all for being here, and we truly are amazed at having this opportunity to be able to talk with her, to be able to chat with her. As you come in, you all go ahead and share the live. We are going to hear it from her mouth, straight from Shawn Johnson, the Funeral Diva. Okay. Let me make sure that we are on here. All right, here we go. I'm getting a ding here. So maybe this is her. Thank you all for, as you come in, thank you all for joining. All right. So as you come in, make sure that you share the live. I want to know who all's on here. Let's see. We got everyone here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, as you know, Shawn Johnson, I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of an introduction before she comes on. She is a funeral director from South Florida. I'm going to let her tell the biggest of who she is and what she does and how she's come to be where she is today, the obstacles that she's had to face, the trials that she's had to run, the races. I mean, it's just a whole, I have heard her testimony. And when I tell you this young lady, it's something different. I'm a person, I see very much the difference in everyone. I see the good and I see the bad. I always look for the good in individuals. I don't like to always focus on the negative or what someone else says or what someone else does, so on and so forth. But I do like to focus on the more positive. All right, so let's click here. Tequila. If you are here, can you go ahead and add her on? Tequila. It's 8:09. You want to go ahead and add her on? Hello, everyone. As you come in, go ahead and like, comment, and share. I do apologize, you all. She is a little bit delayed, but we're definitely not going to deny her. She is logging in now. Okay, so she is logging in now. Okay. All right, here she is. All right. So again, I thank every last one of you for coming on. I do thank you for coming on and participating. For those of you that have shared the live, those of you that have commented, share, liked, subscribe to the channel as well. We do appreciate you. Hello, Shawn. How are you? How are you? Tap. It's the
Okay, you can hear me
okay.
now?
Yes. Okay, I have you now.
Right.
Okay.
I'm good and you.
I'm blessed. Thank you for asking. Welcome to Talks with the Lady. I'm the host, Lashana, and
Nice
it
to
is a
meet you.
pleasure to have. Thank you. It's nice to meet you as well, and great conversation as well. Meeting and talking with you at the meet and greet. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the live, and I have a few questions that I'm going to ask as well. If any point in time that you want to, take a break, then we can. But I don't think, but just in the event that you may need one. So again,
Okay.
I would first and foremost want to thank you for thinking that much of me to come onto this platform and share with me the challenges that you've had to face over the last 4 to 5 years. So while I understand that those were life altering experiences, I don't want to focus so much on the problems or what occurred because I am a solutionist. Um, solutionist, I want to shed the light on others and how they overcome similar situations because of course you're not the first and you probably won't be the last. I know for a fact that you're not the only one that has allegedly, been through something, accused and then been through something. And but my goal is to allow you to share, how you, your family, and your children, your husband's lives were impacted by these allegations and how you overcame them. I'm going to ask you a few questions throughout this interview. And so throughout this interview, if you have any time, like I said before, if you have any questions or concerns, you feel free to ask those questions. If you need a break, then we're also willing to do that as well. Okay. Let me see. I do believe, that we're going to get through this just fine. And if you at any point in time that you need to stop me, just stop me. Okay. So the first question that I have for you is, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and your credentials and what contributions you bring to your community?
I'm Sean Johnson, also known as Funeral Diva. I reside, however, out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, as well as Palm Beach County. What I pride myself in providing a unforgettable experience.
Okay. So when you say an unforgettable experience, you mean something different from the ordinary, right?
What I do is, I do my best to kind of shift away from trauma of or trying to prevent you, and I try to give them a joyous experience or a celebration of life.
Okay. So it's more celebratory than sad or okay. Okay. That's and I see that. As I've told you before that I have been watching you over the last few years, even prior to the incident. I have been watching you and I think you do very unique work. And I'm like, okay, how in the world does she do that? But it's not for me, that's for you to do and for me to just kind of observe. So I do commend you for the work that you do. It is extraordinary. I have not seen a lot of work that was similar to that. So again, I think that's what makes you stand out above, everyone else. So I do have to, give you your props on that as well. So kudos and congratulations on that. And I'm going to say, just keep doing what you're doing. I don't think you need to stop it. I think that, this is a different type of experience that all families need to be able to experience as well. Okay. So is this something that you always knew that you would be doing?
No, and I believe that I've told this story numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had intentions on being in the nursing field. However,
Mm-hmm.
I went to get a part-time job at a funeral home. And
Mm-hmm.
years time, I became the owner. Well, one of the owners.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, when you initially, I know you say you want to go into nursing initially, my thing is I can't be around dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? It's a family member. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to the funeral, but how does is that something you knew? Because you have to have a stomach for this. Like I feel like doctors have to have a stomach for what they do when they get in there and perform surgery, so on and so forth. So is this something, even after you figure, okay, well, nursing might not work for me, this is more of my niche? Is that when you just decided, okay, well, screw nursing school, this is just what I want to do?
I actually never made it to actually operate in the field of nursing. I was
Mhm.
healthcare. When I kind of transitioned over into the business, I kind of knew that that's where I belonged. I
Mhm.
was afraid of dead people. Even as a child, I've always been interested in funeral services in itself.
Mhm.
So I guess it came naturally for me.
And
I
if
was,
it, you
I'm
know what they say,
yeah,
become natural, then that's what's intended for, something you look forward to doing Monday morning.
yes,
So, and I know that funeral directors operate normally like a Thursday, Friday. I'm assuming it's all week because you have to prep and so on and so forth. So, but I do know between Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, those are the busiest days, for funeral directors. So, I mean, I get it. You work 3 days a week, hey, but if I had the stomach for it, hey, I might work under somebody. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be able to direct and do all the stuff that you do. I can't say that. So I'm a different. This is more of me right here. So
understand different folks. So I understand.
right, yes, ma'am. Okay, so what has been the most challenging aspect of being in the funeral industry, and why? I know there's so many different things that we're challenged in, whether it's dealing with families, whether it's being a support at the actual service. There's so many different challenges, but what do you find to be the most challenging task being in the funeral industry?
Um, I would have to say what I just experienced with my own family. That was the most challenging thing that I've ever had in all the years of working in funeral service.
Okay.
Lost several family members, but this one was a little different for me. So trying to plan and execute everything, trying to be a support to my family, trying to
Mhm.
assure them that I got it, everything's gonna be fine, and trying to get myself together.
Right.
And you
Right.
know, you're taught to always be professional.
Hmm.
You have to basically lift others up. And
Right.
within that situation, I wasn't even able to hold myself up in the end. So
Yeah.
the most challenging thing for me.
Okay. I think you're breaking up a little bit on your end. Um, it's like going in and out, but I did get that part. So I just most recently saw where you had buried your uncle, and my deepest condolences. I did see that because that's a part of what I do. I go and I investigate and I check out and I look. And so I do want to send my deepest sympathy from me and my staff here at Talks with the Lady.
Thank
Um,
you.
and y'all have, I seen the little Dallas, is it the Dallas Cowboy casket? You
Mhm.
have to send off for those and have them made, and
Yes.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I seen that, and it was just heart drenching, and just to see that the person that is actually directing this, that is supposed to be strong for others as well, has to break down sometimes.
Yeah.
So I did,
Try not to, but you know,
yeah,
the bond that he and I had, it was special.
right,
He wasn't just an uncle to me. He was my best friend. He was my father figure. You know,
right,
he was the person that I couldn't do no wrong in his eyes. So
right,
outside of my husband, that was my person.
right,
So we
okay.
were very close.
And that's understandable. I think when I lost my father, I just felt like everything. I buried my father back in 2020.
Mhm.
So that was my confidant. That was my best friend. That was my shit talker. We talk trash to each other, like, and then it wasn't nothing like, okay, let's go out to eat and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And you're free to be yourself on here. I'm just free to be I'm always make myself just me. I'm very open to who I am. I don't try to portray myself. So sometimes if you hear a few little words, it doesn't mean,
It's
that's how I relate to, our situation. So I can relate to what you're saying. You have that one person that is just like, okay, God, what am I going to do now? Who do I turn to? And again, like you say, you have your husband, but
Yes.
prior to him, you know what I'm saying? That's who it was. So yeah, I get it. And again, I send my deepest condolences from me and my staff as well.
Thank you.
Um, you will get through it. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna happen. We all know it doesn't happen. You work with family, so you know that, it takes time. So
But I'm a very strong girl, and
mhm,
I will be honest with you. My strength comes from my craft. So
mhm,
even though I said I was going to take some time off, I'm ready to
mhm.
get back to work because
Right.
that's where my healing is going to come from. Me
Mhm.
being able to assist somebody else, me being able to carry somebody else through this. That's what's going to get me through it.
Right. You have to remain strong in what you believe in. And I believe that if you fall, so if you're so easily to fall, like it's so much harder to get back up. Like I feel like you'll bend a little bit,
Right.
like you were at your one of your weakest points. But again,
That's
like you say, continuing to stand in the gap for other people will allow you to heal over time. So that is a great way to look at it. And I can appreciate those words from you as well. Um, so my next question, with your experience of dealing with grieving families, how do you maintain your professionalism? It's very hard.
well, I've been very blessed to say that out of all the families I've served,
Mm-hmm.
95% of them has become like family to me.
Mm-hmm.
So professionalism, it kind of combines with the compassion
Mm-hmm.
because I try my best to treat all my families as if that is my family.
Right.
So I'm professional as far as making sure that things are done,
Mm-hmm.
but I get to know my clients on a very personal level. Even
Right.
to the services are rendered, I try to keep in contact with them, most of them. Um, we talk all the time, so I don't just try to stay in their life only when something is wrong. I try to
Right.
make sure that I'm always there even after.
I'm glad that you said that because I think that when you are in a position where you are, it's okay to it's to make the plans, to take the money, and when their loved one is in the ground, it's just like that's just it, and I think that a lot of funeral directors, they don't quite understand that they are willing to break relationships because I don't know if you understand, well, this, but that one family member that you have and you're caring for them during that time, there's going to be other family members. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's important to have that rapport, with everyone that you come into contact with. And when I asked about professionalism, how you keep it together, is because we have to come to a realization that these are grieving families.
Correct.
At some point in time, they have been they've experienced a great loss. You cannot take it personal. Is that something that I know it, besides outside of your immediate family, like your uncle? I know that sometimes it becomes very personal because of the people that we know that might not be our immediate family, but just because we know them and we feel for them, it becomes a little bit more personal for us. So I think standing in your position, again, I can't say, but I can just only imagine how it would feel, just like the young lady a few weeks ago. I felt a deep connection when I'm looking through these pictures and everything on Facebook, and I look through these profiles. I get a connection of what's going on. So I feel that you have to have, as far as professionalism, you have to have a very strong connection with the family and maintain it. Follow up is the most important aspect whenever you're dealing with anybody. I don't care, even in real estate, I do real estate, and it's just like at the same time, follow up is very important. I don't just want to sell you a house. I want to know, how are you loving the house? Is there any questions, concerns, anything that you have that I may be able to assist you with? But you know what? They're going to go right back and go tell their friends and then their coworkers and everybody else. That is where you build a rapport with them as well. All right. So that was question number 4. So we're going to move on. We got 6 more. I try to make it, but we're getting deep into it. So let's go ahead. All right. I noticed that you have two beautiful daughters, and I've noticed that you've been putting them to work. So do you think that the funeral industry is a legacy that you would want to pass on to them?
Absolutely. I think that every parent wants
Mm-hmm.
their children to admire them. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been blessed with that opportunity because my daughters and I are very close. And
Mm-hmm.
my daughters have been with me through the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in
Mm-hmm.
the midst of that, yes, my children are spoiled, but my kids know the meaning of, you have to make a living for yourself. So,
Correct.
I keep them close to me because I want to instill good things into my children.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest daughter, that's like my best friend.
Your twin.
Yes. She's my right hand on the funeral. She
Mm-hmm.
is. Outside of the funeral director, that's my girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she steps in, and at times she actually amazes me and how
Mm-hmm.
mature she is, how responsible she is, how articulate, how intelligent she is. My
Mm-hmm.
daughter is everything that any parent will want in a teenager.
Right.
I'm blessed to have her. So,
And
and
that's, yeah. She could be doing anything.
yes,
But I
my
think she enjoys doing it because mom enjoys doing it.
correct, yes. And she has her own preferences about what she want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't try to discourage her, but what I do tell her is you got to learn this because this is our legacy. And no
Right.
matter whatever you go out there and you do, you always got this to fall back on. So
Right. Yes, I love it. You're setting a foundation for them.
definitely,
They
definitely.
they
She's
mhm.
too, but
They
I'm
may want to get out there and still do what they want, but at the end of the day, they still have something to fall back on.
exactly. Yeah.
No, that's like what I'm doing. I eventually one day, because I know I have two little girls. I started all back over again. My oldest is 24, but I started all back over, so I have a 7 and a 5.
Hmm.
So my hope is that they will take this because they talk as much as I do, and they're very entertaining. So hopefully they can take this one day and do something with it, and I only pray that people will support them as well. So I think it's very important that we support each other in what we're doing.
Yeah,
And because we never know, like you say, your children, that's your legacy. So
yeah,
in the event something happens or you're no longer, they'll be able to carry it on from everything that you've taught them, what you've instilled inside of them. If you don't show them, if you don't teach them, they'll never know it,
yeah. I thank God for my children because I think that if it was not for my girls, I wouldn't be the woman that I am.
Mm.
I think before I speak now. I think before I act because me having a daughter as big as I have,
Mm-hmm.
she's watching.
Right.
Kids have social media, so I just try to do things a little different. And I'm sure
Right.
if you follow me for the past 4 to 5 years, you
Mm-hmm.
can see the growth
I
because I always want my kids to be proud of me.
Yeah, the
So
oldest daughter, she done got taller than you.
yeah, yeah,
She's taller than you. I watch people. I don't stalk people page now. I just happen when it come across, and especially like the funerals or something like that. I click on it and I see. I'm like, dang, I got big.
yeah.
So
They get
um,
they get the height from their dad.
yeah, and I seen that because I never saw it till just recently, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, makes sense. So yes, all right. So, over the last 4 years, I would presume that there have been some major changes in your relationship with others, of course. And when I say others, it could be family, friends, your cohorts, people that you work with, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Um, how has the previous incident which I've only known one, of course, and again, I don't want to dwell on the incident itself. We're talking about afterwards. How has the previous incident impacted your relationship, dealing with family, friends, or the industry in general? Because you will have people that will say that they were with you even prior to this incident. They'll say that they're your friend, they have your back, you're there for them, they're there for you, but then boom, something happens. People change. So this is my question. How have you had to deal with any major changes whether it be with family, friends, others that you work with in the same industry, and how they view you as a person?
Um, in the beginning, I did, and to be transparent with you, I was hurt, I was mad, I was disappointed because I looked at it from a perspective of, I helped these people, or I put my personal desires and my personal time, to the side. I sacrificed time away from my family, or time away from my children, or my husband, et cetera, to give them all of me. There were even times when I went in my own pocket and I took care of certain things. So yes, I was offended. I was hurt. I did feel betrayed. But then I had to like really sit back and analyze the situation. I can't get mad at them because what happened, it was very crucial. And if I took myself out of me and I put myself in the seat that they were sitting in, if somebody said that about them, I probably would have believed it too.
Right.
So I'm not mad no more. My thing is I just got to keep going. And the main thing is earning the community's trust again. That's my focus.
Right.
What happened is behind me. I can't change that.
Right.
What said is said. Whoever believed it, they believed it. Whoever was with me, if they were really with me, they're still with me.
Right.
So, like I said, I just got to keep going because in the midst of it all, it's still a lesson. Even if it was not for me, maybe it was a lesson that I had to go through to be able to teach my children in the future, or for me to inspire somebody else. So there you have it.
Now you see why this question came later. So I'm a firm believer that everything that we go through is not for us, but somebody's got to endure it. Somebody's got to go through it in order. And there's no such thing. I hear a lot of people, and I've heard the ridicule. I've heard so many different people say all kinds of different things. And I'm not going to say that I didn't have raised, like, I didn't, the flags weren't there. I'm not going to say that. But my thing is, in everything that we go through, it's going to be a learning experience for you to either, it's going to make you or it's going to break you. You
Correct.
take that experience, you've already talked to God about it. You've already handled that situation on that end, personally and legally or whatever. That's why I say this is not to focus on that in general, but we're talking about afterwards. How do you heal from it? How do you, and you just said, giving back to the community and showing that you can trust me. I just seen, again, the, video that let me see, Nita B them posted. I watch everything. So, and that's my job, because one day my vision is going to be nationwide. And I tell people, this is not a local podcast. This is going to be global. It doesn't matter what nobody else says. So what you believe in and what you have hope in and your future accomplishments, that is what matters the most. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up. Because someone else, let me tell you, they can be in the same predicament today or tomorrow, and they might not be able to handle it like you were able to handle it.
I just received a call last week from somebody, and to be honest, I appreciate the call because I didn't even know that person was watching me. And the first thing they said was they wanted to commend me because for me to come out of a situation such as that, like I did, and to be able to, be able to bounce back and continue to rise, that it was unheard of. And I take things like that is what I take to continue to motivate me to keep going. In the midst of everything, as you said, people that were close to me. So I always walk with the saying that God broke my heart to fix my vision, because he replaced my scars with stars. A lot of people around me that really didn't even deserve a seat at my table. And in the midst of the transition, he placed people in my life that was able to influence me in a good way. They were able to pour into me because my cup stayed empty because I was always pouring into others.
Right.
And at the end of the day, Fantasia said it best. you have to lose in order to win again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why I told you, I said, I want to focus on the, how I came out of it, not
Right.
the situation, because I'm beyond that situation.
Right.
I came out of it. And the main thing is, it stuck with me when I actually had the mayor of Riviera Beach come
Mm-hmm.
to me and he said, Sean, we owe you an apology. So my
Mm-hmm.
thing is, I won the day that I got that apology.
Right.
There was no need for me to continue holding on to it, to keep dragging on with it. Like I said, I'm not mad no more.
Right.
I just thank God for a second chance.
And I think Fantasia also said it's necessary.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is necessary.
yeah. Because in home, you know, um,
Right.
when I was young. I was very young when and I was very successful at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, maybe I wasn't humble enough. Sometimes you get the big head. You know, I was getting a lot of business and it was coming fast. And who knows? Maybe I missed something that God wanted me to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I take all of that in stride. Like I said, I'm more humble now than I was. I'm appreciative for the
Mm-hmm.
blessings that God give me, and I try not to mishandle them.
Right. And I think that what I commend you the most is you're able to do it with pride and confidence. You didn't give up, you didn't stop. Like um God will send you those people
Mm-hmm.
that they're like the messengers to remind you that you're going to be okay, or keep standing in the paint. So my son used to always tell me, I said, it seemed like I'm just always going through the fire, and he would have the little simplest little things to say. He'd be like, well, go around it. And I'm like, it's so easy for them, and I'm like, okay, just go around it. But I'm so used to it. Like I told, I'm used to going through the fire, because when I come out of it, I don't smell burnt. I don't look burnt. I'm talking about I'm okay with that. So I said that to say, I don't care how many times the enemy tried to make you feel like you're not worthy enough. God give you the strength to keep pushing. Does that make sense? Like, and if he gives you the strength to keep pushing, and he said, if I see you to it, I'm going to see you through it. That's another thing he said. So
Exactly.
you have to just keep going on and on and on. A lot of people didn't expect me to be doing what I'm doing today, because I just used to be one of them, but
Yeah.
when you begin to focus on, let me prove them wrong, and let me let them know who I truly am and who God made me to be. This is my destiny. This is what God ordained me to do.
Right.
And like I said, I don't like to focus on the negative. I like to focus more on the solution. I don't like to focus on the problem. I want to know how we gonna overcome this. Okay, yeah, that done happened. Okay, that's in the past too. So where do we go from here? So that is where I commend you on a lot, is that you didn't stay down, regardless of threats or harassment or whatever. Regardless of what, you still said, you know what, God is my protector. He watches over me. He keeps me. So
And,
as long as he does that, I don't have to worry about a thing.
well,
And
as
that's
I you, not meaning to cut you off. My
mm-hmm,
my kids are always with me, like all the time.
mm-hmm,
So at the time when that occurred, my oldest daughter was 13.
mm-hmm,
It's no secret. My husband had just went away to go and do his prison sentence. And I thought about it one day and I said, what am I teaching my kids if I stop? You know, if I would have stopped, that means I was teaching them to be quitters.
mm-hmm,
And they're not gonna be babies forever. You
right.
know, my child will be a senior next year in high school.
Mm, okay.
He's gonna eventually experience life. And the
Yeah.
main thing is I want her to reflect back and think about my mama went through one of the most hardest things in her life.
Mm-hmm,
Because I will be honest, that broke me down to zero. But
mm,
yet and still I didn't stay there.
right.
I didn't know
Right.
that the same strength that I have, it lies in her. So I wanted to teach my kids that they got a strong mom. You know,
Right.
their mom is a fighter. I'm not a quitter.
Right. And you
And
are your child's best teacher.
exactly.
I
And
don't
that
care.
was
Yeah.
the thing. I wanted to show them that I can do this.
Right. And you did a damn good job, honey.
Thank you.
Period. Exclamation mark.
Thank you.
parentheses, all of those.
Thank you.
Yes, girl. Okay, so we're moving along. I don't feel the need to ask this question because I think we just talked about this right here. But were there any of your, I'll go to the next one because you just covered pretty much my whole next question.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any of the cohorts that you have reached out to, or maybe that reached out to you during this ordeal to offer any type of support on behalf of your mental well-being, to support you or your children? Because whether you realize it yet or not, like, children will always be my focus. You know, I'm always, what affects us affects our children because they are part of us. So a lot of people may reach out, and we're talking about professional industry people, professionals. Have they reached out to you to offer any type of support on behalf of your mental well-being, or to support, or any other type of support to help revive your business or your legacy?
Actually, there were quite a few. Nita B being one of them. They never left my side. Actually, it's not even a business relationship amongst me and them at this point. They're more like my brother and my sister.
Right.
Yes, I had several colleagues to, to support me. We actually, today you and I spoke, and we spoke about Tony Tanner. He was actually one.
Right.
Tanner has always been a friend to me. And in the midst of it, he was very supportive. He helped me a lot behind the scenes. He did. It's probably too many to name, but the gentleman that I work with now, which is Genuine Funerals, them two, they're like my brothers because they came and they extended themselves to me and told me, hey, you can come over here with us. You have to stop doing what you're doing. And I appreciate them for that. There were several funeral directors that helped me, so I wasn't left out in the cold. And, I must say that, despite the fact that it looked like the entire world was against me, weren't. I
No.
actually had a lot of clients that supported me, that spoke up for me, that still called me, even in the midst of me closing down my funeral home. They still trusted me. Wherever I went, they went. If they lost a loved one, if I was down in Miami, they came to Miami, or they called Miami. So I'm very, very grateful for the
Right.
system that I have had.
As they should. I feel like in that industry, everyone should support each other. Even like with what I do, I still support other people and what they're doing, and in hopes that they will also support me. But, the situation, I felt like, should have brought a mending of a whole bunch of funeral homes together to say, we are going to get through this together. Because at the end of the day, I think you all work together. As far as one funeral home might need something from this one from down, ain't that's how it works.
That's not how it works.
I thought maybe
Since you said that, we gonna tell it like it is. No, that's not how it
they
works.
don't do that.
No. In all actuality, there were quite a few that was celebrating the demise.
Oh man.
No, that's not how it works.
Well, see, that's the way I think. I'm thinking myself, like, okay, if I need help, let's just say you had 3 bodies. You know what I'm saying? You got that many Hershey's?
No, they gonna call the state on you. They ain't gonna come help you.
So you can't have that many in the funeral.
Not if they don't have 4, they gonna be upset with you. But nevertheless, that's life. We live in a crab in a bucket day and time, and you got to learn either how to be a lobster or you gonna become a crab.
Baby, let me tell you something. I ain't never been in that much competition with nobody, honey. I think we all can win. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of that, okay, how much is a stand-up funeral? Now I want to go all the way out like how you be doing with these with the families. I ain't trying to get in nobody's business, but I need to get a quote. You know what I'm saying? Because you do pre-arrangements, right? Isn't that what they call it?
No, you have to have a pre-need license to do that. I don't do pre-needs. I actually don't even discuss prices unless my funeral director is present.
Oh Lord, John. That's one of them things I want to know. Me, you gonna have to talk. So we can talk, you know what I'm saying? platform. We gonna talk when everybody's together, okay? But yeah, we got, I didn't know it was that many crabs, honey. I thought they stayed in the sea. They done jumped out, I guess.
Yeah,
But
things
honey,
changed. It has changed. It has. It's changed a lot.
yeah,
It's
see,
like it used to be. It's changed a lot. So you
child,
got to be a very strong minded individual. You have to have a lot of self control to be in the funeral business. You do.
well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you like this right here. I got to be laid to the gods, honey. What you said, Jerlene? Laid to the gods.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You have to have a mind of your own
Mm-hmm.
because in this industry, intimidation is at a high rate right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to select a funeral home,
Mm-hmm.
select them because you love them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't allow nobody. Well, I'm not gonna say love them. Select them because you like what they provide. You
Mm-hmm.
know what you know based on what you saw. Don't
Mm-hmm.
allow nobody to get into your head because of their personal feelings. Because
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, what funeral homes do is I'm gonna tear you down so that I can get the business. That's what
Right.
a lot of them do. They don't allow you. They don't allow you a person to get to know you for you. What
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna do is they're gonna always put the negative in front so
Mm-hmm.
that they can try to deter you their way. So always get to know them for yourself. Do your own research. Don't listen to nobody. That's all I'm
Not with my money.
that's
Not
all.
with my money. Baby, because I'm going out celebrity style, honey. So, you know, I'm just saying.
Well,
Ooh, child.
to
I,
find me,
I,
ready.
huh?
You know where to find me. Tell the kids to call me.
Yes. Listen, they already got it all laid out. They just, they already know, honey. Baby got to be laid in jewels, all kinds of jewels, honey. If they got to take 20 bands and go buy me a necklace, that might just be what they have to do, baby. Because I got to be laid out to the gods, honey. I need my lashes to be right. I need them to be real long. I need to be touching the top of the casket.
People starting to say, well, you don't need to do all that. I feel like if that's what you want, do it. If you can afford it, do it. So if that's what you
Yeah,
want, by all you do it. You deserve it.
right.
So
And yeah, it'll be my last time they see it. You know what I'm
that's
saying? So,
I,
and
I tell him all the time, and I tell him I want 5 days. I want to be dressed different
mhm,
every day. I want a different hairdo every day.
right. That's what you want. So, I'm just a firm believer. Give me what I want, honey. And make sure I have on my lip gloss. Pink. Okay, I'm gonna get back. I think we got a few more questions, baby. Because see, I can sit right here and go on and on, baby. All right. Um, when did you realize that you were in for a fight, even after trying to remain peaceful about the situation?
I was in for a fight the day I opened Sean Johnson Funeral Services. So that's it's. I mean, I'm a woman in a male dominated field.
Mm-hmm.
So the fight started long before what you guys witnessed. It started long before that.
Before then.
But
Mm-hmm.
with that situation, I guess when it hit the media, that's
Mm-hmm.
when I realized I was in for a fight, or when I realized, how many people were affected by the allegations.
People like to see you down.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Like they see you doing so good, and I don't know why people be so jealous and envious. That's why I tell a lot of people, and they might question, like, okay, well, why would you interview her? Okay, why not? Because see, people don't get a fair enough chance to. People look at me and they already come to a conclusion that this is just how. Oh, she's this way. And I don't like that because it takes you have to get to know me. To know me is to love me. I'm a very transparent, straightforward type person. Anybody can tell you that truly knows me and wants to know me and has learned me. They will know, they will understand, and they can tell you a little bit more about. And I'm not going to say that that's people that I even closely call my family or my friends. It's been people that I've just learned over the years or that have learned me, and they've chosen to do that. But what I've learned over the years is it doesn't matter what you do. You can do a million things. And I think I posted this earlier on my Facebook page. You can do 100 things right, but one thing that you do wrong, people will ridicule you. You are the villain. You are useless. You are this. You are that. And it doesn't matter. I could have got in there and spilled some peanut butter, and I could have yelled, or somebody could have spilled some peanut butter in there, and then they would have think that I'm just the worst person in the world, and so on and so forth. But you don't realize that I made a way for you to get the peanut butter, or I made a way for you to have a roof, to have peanut butter in the house to go in the refrigerator. Like, they don't look at that. They look at the negative, and they're always waiting for a downfall. So just as much as they're waiting for a downfall, you should be more adamant to give them something to look forward to.
Well, in the midst of my situation, what I learned was that it wasn't the people that were on my level or the people that had more than me that was trying to bring me down.
Right.
It's always the ones that's beneath you already. And, you know, I had to think about it. I'm, you know, in a way I had kind of started to stoop to their level, and I had started to get into the altercations and the verbal disputes and so forth and so on. And then one day I checked myself and I thought about it. I'm like, you know, I'm a queen. I'm the funeral diva. You know, I'm a boss. So, you know, in a way I kind of idolized Beyonce. And Beyonce never responded to her critics.
She never addresses.
Argue back with anybody. And I thought about it. I said, if I want to be like Beyonce, I got to stop arguing with these people. I got to stop responding to these people. So, you know, I notice sometimes I have 100 comments on my page and I never respond because I don't read them. And the reason why I don't read them is because, I'll be honest, I'm blessed. Like, I'm in a very peaceful place. The main thing was my husband was away and my husband home. So I'm so happy. I don't want nobody to destroy that. I don't want nobody to mess with my peace. I don't want nobody to, you know, have me having a bad day. So whatever doesn't, you know, cause me to grow or feed my spirit in a positive way, I don't entertain it. And that's what kind of helped me rise above my haters.
Yeah,
you know, honestly, haters are really admirers when you look at it.
Yeah, I love the haters. They motivate me.
Actually, so I will be honest. If they not talking, that means you ain't doing nothing. So as long as I keep them talking, I'm doing something right. When they stop talking is when I gotta worry.
Yes, honey. But one thing about it, let me tell you something. A queen ain't finna come off her throne to address no peasy.
And then, you know, I used to worry about if people like me, if they would accept me. And it's like, now I don't worry about that because I now know what self-love is. I love myself. I've learned to be my own best friend. You know, I don't even focus on friends no more. If I have a friend, good. If I don't, I'm fine with that.
I'm right. I think I posted that too. I be in the house glad don't nobody like me. Because, baby, listen, you have so much peace. When you have your husband and your 2 children, those are the things that you worry about the most, and they're right there up under your roof. So what is it to worry about? They're right there. I stopped worrying about people a long time ago because, honey, you can worry about them people, and them people let something happen to you. It is not going to be the same energy return. It's, oh, yeah. Baby, we have had to learn. And in my 43 years of living, I promise you, sweetheart, I have been through some so-called friendships. I say so-called. They're not. They might have been situations or frenemies or what, you know, whatever. I prayed, but see, but one thing about me is I prayed and I asked God, anything that's not for me, anything that's not like you, anything that's unhealthy and unclean, Lord, you know me better than I know myself. You know, if it's not intended for me, God, because you done heard conversations that I didn't hear. You done seen things that I didn't see. You done seen actions that were made behind my back. You know, people that I adored the absolute most, even professionals, I looked at them as like higher up. Now my whole perception of them is so different, you know, and it's so sad because little old me, I do look up to people too. You know what I'm saying? We all have somebody that but honey, when I tell you, I ask God, if it's not for me, Take it away. Boy, I tell you, I was in here talking to the walls one day. I'm like, what in the world? Everybody, you never know how many people that you got that's against you. You know, I'm talking about, I be asking God to just remove them with no harm done. Just remove them away from me. I want them gone. I don't need none of that around me. You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, I'm riding down the road by myself, phone not ringing. Like, dang, let me see if my ring on. Phone not ringing. But that is how God operates. You can't, we can't look at it like that's a bad thing, because you ask God for that. The same way that you ask him to guide you through this and to get you through that situation and to allow you to come out with peace, come out on top. Lord, just continue to build me and mold me into the woman that you choose for me to be, or that you have for me to be. Right. You ask God for that. So in doing that, you're going to lose a lot of people. And everybody can't go where God is taking you. That's it. All that baggage, all them duffel bags and all of that stuff, just when God drop it off, you get your speed. You pick up speed a lot quicker. And that's what we don't understand. Like, and we go back trying to knock on doors. We knocking on doors that God done already closed. And you still wondering why you just standing up there knocking on the door, because he done closed the door. He done sealed it and put a lock on it.
Right.
And we still be back there doing the same thing, because a lot of people want friends so bad. Like, you want a friend. I don't need no friend. My church, I have 7 children ranging from 24 to 5 years old. You know, if I want to talk to anybody, and even if I ain't had a phone, trust me, between them 2 little ones, they gonna talk, and they talk just like me. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody to talk to. And but one thing about it, they're gonna be real with me. Like, your kids are gonna be the realest ones on your team.
I've learned that friends can be draining at the same time. Mm-hmm. And like I say, my energy is so different that I'm just in a happy place. I'm content. Mm-hmm. I just learned to protect my peace. You know.
You look happy.
I am. You
look like you relaxed and happy, and you need to let it stay that way, babe. I ain't saying you ain't look happy before. I'm just saying that stuff will drain you.
No,
you know
I didn't. I actually go back and I reflect on pictures that I used to take back then, and I didn't look happy. And you know, the main thing is when you try to prove that you're okay, that's when you're not okay.
That's when you're right. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm chilling. I'm good.
When I tell you, well, you look good, honey. I just want to throw that out there from one sister to another, and baby, you look fabulous.
You too.
Keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad everybody is doing good, baby. I'm interested in learning a little bit more, but we can talk about that on private time. About you know, whatever it is that I need to talk to you about. Last question. I'm always on professional development. Are you planning to extend your knowledge in the funeral industry? And if so, what is it that you plan on doing? Are you planning on going back to get other certifications? Are you planning on getting another funeral home? What is it that you want to do to build up even the more?
Well, my future goals are, of course, definitely to get my my license. Mm-hmm. But most of all, I want to be able to expand to have multiple locations, because I actually have supporters all over the state of Florida. And I want to be able to provide the Sean Johnson experience to as many people as I possibly can. Okay. In the near future, I always have a lot of young ladies that inbox me asking for advice. And I don't want to continue to repeat myself over and over. So in the future, I want to try to put together a conference where I can provide that advice to, you know, numerous amount of young ladies all over the world.
Right. We are actually getting ready for a conference with women empowerment. That's my number one goal, is to empower women, to not stop, but to keep going, because individuals, even in society, like you saying, you know, this is a more male dominant industry, but I have to commend a lot of ladies, even up here in Central Florida. We have Dafina Williams as well. She is another funeral director here. She does great work. You as well, Sean Johnson. There's this lady that I follow. She's from like out of state somewhere, but she does awesome work as well.
Well, let me clear this up because
Mhm.
I don't want them to say I let you say this. So let me make sure you understand. I'm not a licensed funeral director yet. I am the funeral diva, but I do have a funeral director that works with me. So I want to say that because that's the thing in the morning. Well, she's not a funeral director. So you're hearing it from me first. I'm not a funeral director.
I've already did my research,
Okay.
but I speak those things as if they are. So I will speak it into existence. I think Jerlene just said it right there. Speak it into existence is definitely going to happen. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So I know I don't be wrong on stuff. Thank y'all, audience. Yes, make sure y'all go follow and share. But because we are definitely we're gonna have you back on here because I'm looking forward to what God is really going to do for you. Uh, you know, I feel like my spirit, like God laid on my heart to reach out to you, to talk to you because it's again, I'm just a whole different person. I don't go by, I don't jump on the bandwagon with everybody. I like to find things out for myself. I think that's what makes me stick out. I'm a lot different from anybody else. My executive assistant will tell you as well. She go back and forth with me sometimes, like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. I say, well, I have my own mind, and she helps me. You know what I'm saying? Because I see things different. And sometimes I can be a bit much. I can admit. You know what I'm saying? But she has to get me back on track. And I just tell her it's because I have my own mind. I see things different from what everyone else that is jumping. It could be 50 of us and you got 48 of them or 49. I'm just that one that's different. I just see things different. I'm like, okay, well, what's behind that though? But what did they do? So I'm just a total different person. A lot of people don't like that. They say I'm very debative, I guess you could say, but it is what it is. God made me in his own image. So, that's what it is.
People be knowing the truth a lot of times. And I think that the decision to support the foolishness, it be out of jealousy and intimidation and hatred and things of that nature. So I've just learned to just let people be people. It, like I say, whatever you do, it's not going to change their opinion of you.
Right.
And I've learned that. And now what I do, I walk with my head held high because at the end of the day, I have a reason for my head to be held high. I'm not going to stop being who I am.
Right.
Because one person, well, a group of people over here don't like me or they want to keep talking about what happened 4 years ago. If they still stuck there, I'm going to let them stay stuck there. But I'm going to keep moving forward and I'm going to keep rising to the occasion. Just what it is. I look at it like this. God made me who I am.
Right.
I'm not going to dumb myself down. From the moment the society knew me, I've always been this way. And I'm not going to stop being that way because at the end of the day, I still got a husband to please. And I'm accustomed to having a pretty wife. And I'm not walking around
yes.
other people. So
I know that's right.
I'm going to continue to walk in them red bottoms as long as my legs allow me to. And I'm going to continue to serve the people.
Speaking of the red bottoms, where can I get some of them Gucci stockings from, girl? Girl, because I want me some of them Gucci stockings.
I actually got them from the Gucci store in Aventura Mall.
Okay. So I'm going to have to get with you because I might have to cash app you something. Maybe you can send them to me. Send something to me.
No
what I'm saying? I want some Gucci and some Louis. If they got it. Because I like them Gucci stockings. And I know
you're supposed to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that people don't understand with people like myself, an entrepreneur. The main thing is I want to make sure everybody understand it's not your money that buy those things. I work for that. When you call me to provide a service, I'm working for you. That's just like when you go and you punch a clock. You're working for that money. So that money doesn't belong to the establishment once you get paid.
Right.
And people don't understand. So I wish people would stop saying, well, she taking our money and she buying red bottoms and she buying Gucci stockings. No.
You still got bills to pay.
My money and I'm buying that stuff because whatever money I earn from what I do for you, that's my money, you know. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
people need to stop saying, well, they charging all this money. Funerals are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Are not cheap. You know, not only that, that's my time, that's my dedication to you for them 14 days, 7 days, however many days it is that I'm dealing with you. That's my time when I got to rip and run. And I'll be honest, I do a lot. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I go get my the clothes for the deceased. I do it all because that is very important. I'm a very detailed person. So everything that I charge,
Mm-hmm.
I deserve it. I do because I go over and beyond for my families because like I say, the presentation is everything. If
Right.
see how you said the young lady Kelby was laid to rest beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because for one, and I must commend her parents. Her
Mm-hmm.
parents were like a breath of fresh air to work with. You know,
Right.
I actually had the opportunity to service her mom in the past because
Mm-hmm.
she had a brother that passed a few years ago. So
Right.
for her to come back to me a second time, that was a blessing in itself.
Right.
It was an honor and a privilege, you know, and they were the type that, okay, Sean, let's do it. Whatever
Right.
you say, let's do it because they trusted me. And having somebody that trusts you,
Mm-hmm.
that's what give you that beautiful outcome. When they
Right. Because they know that it's gonna get done.
mm-hmm,
See, that's what I'm saying. Because I don't be wanting to do nothing. You already grieving.
right. Yeah.
It's
And,
like, why would you want to have to continue to do all of this? And then I like to know that once I've put everything into your hands and you have what you need, don't come calling me 30 or 40 times. Please don't do that. Because it's just like, okay, I'm either trying to get some sleep, I'm trying to rest, my eyes heavy, more than likely I got a headache and I'm sleep trying to get rid of it. Like people they go through these things. I had a sister and my dad that were buried within 3 weeks of each other. So
wow.
my eyes were still swollen from my sister that passed in July. My dad that passed away, our father passed away August 12th. So it was one of those things where it's like you don't really want to have to worry about. I just went through this and all of my family just went through this because all of us are related. So I understand what you mean when you say that you invest a lot of time into it. You
Yeah.
know, we've been fortunate to have, a great service. Dee Williams, she's did a great job over the years with our family. So I do want to also I want to give credit wherever it's due. So um I have to commend the work that you do though, because like you saying, a lot of the stress that's taken off of the family. You will never know what people go through. Well, but people, you don't know the connection, the bond that they've had. So I've even had some people that are just like, I can't take this no more. I'm ready to go too. So a lot of people just don't want to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you the worst part of um the preparing with the funeral home and all of that is going to look at the body after, like, the day before the funeral.
Yep.
That is the most hardest part for me, because it's like you seeing them different. Is you seeing them when they've passed. Like I held my dad hand till he took his last breath. But when I walked in that funeral home, and before I can walk in that room, I had to take 10, 15 breaths, like I really don't want to see him yet. And that again is another part. It was hard enough picking out a suit. It was hard enough dropping it off, because at that very moment I was like, well, where is he? Oh, he's in the bag, such, so on and so forth. And at that time, just being humorous as well, because Daphne was like, he got two ladies back there with him. You know what I'm saying? So he all right. I was like, it's little stuff like that it was like, okay, it gives you a little bit of, okay, he's not by himself, so I get it, and I think every little bit of that makes the way that you present your services, it makes it so much more special to the family.
Well,
you know
it's just, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
oh, you're fine.
it's kind of like what you said as far as the picking out the suit and things like that. You know, again, reverting back to my uncle, this time was totally different compared to me, burying my grandparents, my cousins, so forth and so on. And I had to pick out the clothes and things like that. So I get what you're saying. You know, it's like you keep asking yourself over and over, like, am I really doing this? And I kept saying to my husband in the midst of the planning, like, we really planning a funeral. You know, we really getting ready to have a funeral for him. So I understand, and that's the reason why I didn't even know that was me taking that burden off of families by me doing those things. And I, I've been told that I spoil my clients, and I do. I'm not. I don't feel guilty about it. You know, if I can rip and run and do whatever for that person all week long, I'm willing to do that, because you have went through something that's life changing. You know,
Right.
the relative is life changing.
Right. Right.
Especially an immediate family member. When it's
Right.
talk to every day, you see every day, and you don't have that no more. That's traumatizing.
It is, but I have to say, with that experience, it was a little bit more. I was a little bit more appreciative with that one, because my mom passed exactly 7 years prior to him, but I wasn't able to see her. She was not viewable. So it was a little bit different with her, because all I remembered was the last time that I saw her. I didn't see her laying in a casket. Everything was closed, so it was a little bit, even though it took a lot out of me then, because that's mom, but my dad, that was my best friend. Like how you and your uncle, he was everything to me, like everything. If I could have laid right there beside, like I would have just laid just right there.
Well, my uncle was my dad. I'll be honest, he was for years, like since I was a kid. So I felt like I lost a parent.
Yes. And it's like that most of the time. Those ones that hold that special connection, oh my God, it's just like, oh, how am I going to do this right here? It's just, I feel like nothing can hurt me anymore. Other than just my kids, you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing with me and my kids here. We living our life. We're doing, what other people do or what they say. Just same thing as I told you. Everything that you need is right there in that house. Everything that you need. So nothing can hurt you. What can hurt you?
Right.
If you were to lose everything the day of tomorrow, guess what? You still have your husband and your two beautiful girls. And that, again, because you can always get it back. But God has blessed you where you didn't have to lose anything. He gave you your confidence, which you always had. You know what I'm saying? Like, so where did you really lose it? You know what I'm saying? You really didn't. People probably tried to break you, but God say, Even the Bible said, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm, honey. I don't care what you go through, but what I've learned is that when you go through so much, you were chosen. There's a difference of being called and chosen. A lot of people don't understand that. I got the ministry inside of me too. Yeah. I ain't no cussing preacher, and I ain't even claiming to be no preacher, but I'm just saying, God has really placed on my heart to do what I do. This is a ministry for me. I don't like people to focus on, because if I focus on my problems, baby, we'll be sitting here all the way till Jesus come back. You know what I'm saying? But I like to focus on where I'm going and where everything that I experienced, where it took me, how I overcame it. And that's in part of one of my book that I wrote, transitioning from breakdowns to breakthroughs. I wrote that book and I published it 4 months after my dad passed. And I finished it in December and I published it in January 2021. But I focused on, yes, this is what I went through, but let me show you how I came out of it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I had to go through to get out of it. And I went to it like, God, why am I writing this memoir? What is this for? It wasn't for me. It was for somebody else. You know how many people came back and said, oh my God, I cried my way. Like I thought I was the only one, or I thought. You can't look at it like that. But the bottom line is God saw you through it.
Most definitely. And not only did he see me through it, I hear from a lot of my colleagues that there are people that went through things that wasn't even as serious as mine. They didn't bounce back from it.
Mm-mm.
Even like what we talked about, the
Mm-hmm.
lady that's always trolling me and bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
She went through something, and it's like she's upset because she probably feel like why I didn't redeem myself like she did,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what keep me going. That's what keep me going. The main thing is that I feel like I got eagle wings.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can overcome anything, and that's my focus. I had a lady, she's very influential to me, and she always tell me, "Shine, tunnel vision." And
Mm-hmm.
it took me a long time to gain that tunnel vision, but I have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm human, so sometimes certain things, it kind of stick on my shoulder, but
Right.
eventually I brush it off and I keep
Right.
going. I've like I said, the main thing is I grew, I matured. I leveled up mentally first. So with that being said, I feel like I can do anything I want, anything I put
Right.
my mind to.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna be looking for. I'm gonna be ready for you to get them license, because if I got to stay on you between me and my executive assistant, we're gonna be in your inbox. We're gonna be in that email. She probably gonna be calling and texting, because that is a part of the ministry, that not
Yeah.
just this platform, but like I said, follow up is very, very important. It's not just to have you come on here and answer a few questions. It's not just about that. Again, this is a ministry. So whether we share your success. So a lot of times you might see us, sharing stuff or whatever. If it's on your page, just pretty much to let you know that we support you. We are going to be following up with you to ensure that you are doing what you need to do. We don't have to tell you. We know you're a grown woman, but it's just a push and let you know that we have not forgot about you and we remember what you said. So we are going to be doing that as well. We are going to be checking in from time to time. I would like to have you back on the show. The next time you come back, I want you to have those license in your hand. Okay. And then the time after that, when you come back, I want to see that second locate. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I can see a beige building right now. I can see a beige building.
That's actually my favorite color.
Oh, see, look at God. That's it. I'm telling you. But I can see that. I can see a beige building. But when I tell you, Sean, don't give up. And you have already set the foundation for not just your children, but for yourself.
Hmm.
You know what the baseline expectations are. You know what it's going to take for you to get there. It's not going to be hard. The 100,000 that you think are against you, guess what? There's 300,000 more that are for you.
Yes,
And you got to look at it that way.
I did. I learned that over those 4 years that it's more with me than against me.
Right.
I appreciate the support. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the ones that have, sold into me, that have supported me, who have still trusted me in the
Right.
midst of my adversities, in the midst of the demise. I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful. I really am, because I mean, it was a bad thing, but it basically it marketed it did the marketing for me.
Right.
So, even though I had, my little fan base, I'm on a whole nother level now.
You all over the world now.
Work. Yeah.
So all they doing right now is following up. Let me check in and see what's going on. Yeah, you see it.
Yeah. And they not gonna see nothing but greatness, because that's where I am in life. I'm ready to be great. I'm ready to be all that I can be.
I said I took those 3 pictures because it signified purity to me. And like I say, I don't just go on people pages and just pick, and I don't even let them pick it for me. I do what I feel like God leads me. So in those pictures, it showed purity and strength and determination. So I really appreciate the opportunity. I can appreciate the opportunity that we have had to sit here and converse about it and to be able to talk about it. um I pray that that situation stays where it is, and that from this day forward, even from the day that whatever occurred, it was a new beginning for you, because that is a part of your testimony. I do pray that God continue to allow you to grow in your ministry, because that is considered to be a ministry as well.
Mhm.
Anything that you may need from us, Talks with the Lady, which is a Brown Enterprise production. We're getting there. We are small, but we are growing. We're not local, as some may call, and some may say, honey, we are global. I have to correct that with, some people. We are going to be a global connection. So we are here to support you in whatever that you may need. We will, again, like I said, we will be reaching out to you. I am so proud of you myself. That's coming from me, LaShawna. I'm very proud of you, and that's why you were chosen.
Thank you.
So do you have any questions?
Privilege. Thank you. And I want to tell you thank you for having me on the show. I enjoy it. And anytime.
Okay. Well, we're going to follow up.
Okay.
All right.
We put together a woman empowerment event. I'm all for that.
We're going to do that. We getting ready to do that. Whether it don't matter where, even if we got to come down south, we going to plan something. I got a great executive assistant and she plans all kind of stuff. So whatever she willing to put together, I just say, yeah, whatever she tell me, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we can even go to Atlanta, but either or, we're gonna make this thing worldwide because we need the world to know who we are. You know. Okay.
Yeah, so women great things. The men just gotta accept it and they just gotta move over.
I don't know why it's so hard for them to believe. Baby, I done got in there and installed a whole toilet in my bathroom. Them children of mine they'll mess up a wet dream, honey. Whew, Lord have mercy, Jesus. But I had to get in there and install stuff. I'm a mechanic. I get out there sometimes and I go fix my car, little things, because I'm very frugal when it comes to money. So I don't spend money like that. I'm very frugal with it. I watch every little dime.
I'm learning to be that way.
Yes, you have to be that way because you're setting yourself up for to be financially wealthy, and increasing your finances. You're going to have that's financial literacy.
And it took me a long time to learn that in order to obtain success, you got to sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice.
In my sacrificial season where I'm sowing my seeds to see my tree.
Yes, you're going to see it sprout, girl. I already, and what you put in, that's another thing. Let me say one more thing. What you put in is what you're going to get out.
Yep, absolutely.
If you put in devious acts, you're going to get if you plant a seed to grow and to flourish and to be positive and acts of kindness towards other people, that's what you're going to get back because they know that that's what you're about.
Yeah, exactly. And, I thank God for my mom because she taught me that even from a little girl. In our household, we wasn't even allowed to even gossip. We wasn't talk about people. So, I thought it was a hard lesson, but in the end, it molded me to be a very solid woman. So I say to all of them that don't like me, you missing out because I'm a good friend.
Yes, I know, right? If you don't find that many of them, honey.
And my husband always tell me, one thing about you, you loyal. And I'm continue to be that way. And I'm not going to let nobody change me. That I'm not. So I'm grateful that I came in contact with you. And I'm looking forward to us doing great things together.
I am looking forward to it too. But we're going to talk some more off of this right here. I know you be busy, so I do be respecting the busy.
No problem.
So, but you'll get an email before anything. So you'll know what's going on.
Anytime.
Okay. I'll probably call it. I see your message first.
Okay.
All right, baby. Well, I love you. And for all of you that are on here, thank you all for watching. If you all have any questions, you can also go to her Facebook page. It is Shawn Johnson. She is the Funeral Diva. Let me go ahead and throw the SJ on the end. Okay. Yes, SJ for Shawn Johnson.
Yes.
Okay. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to inbox her. That is her page. Go and send her a friend request and follow and see the unique work that she has presented to our families and continues to present to our families, the professionalism. If you have any other questions for me, you can inbox me. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is the @ Talks with the Lady. Instagram, it is Talks with the _lady. And Facebook, it is just me, LaShawna Lady Brown. Also, the group Talks with the Lady. We are a growing platform. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you have any topics that you want to discuss, or if you want to come to the show, please do not hesitate to hit the inbox or either email me at talkswiththelady@gmail.com. We'll be more than happy to hear any of your topics and your suggestions and comments. All right. We love you with the love of God, Sean, and go in peace.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.